All right, everybody, so now we're going to go and draw our shoe. You can draw your shoe sitting up on the table and looking straight at it so that it looks like this for you, but because I'm filming from above, it's laying on the table, but you don't have to do it that way. Now remember, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to draw a box that is the basic shape of our shoe, okay? I think this shoe might actually be a little bit taller. And remember, if you want to just do the box for the upper of the shoe, not the sole, that's also a good way to start. I'm going to draw pretty darkly so you can see, but remember, your lines, your box may be so light that you can't even see it, okay, because you want to be able to erase later. So what we're going to do is we divide our box into thirds. 1/3 for the ankle, 1/3 for the laces, 1/3 for the toes. We can measure this angle here and notice that this angle is going to be basically the same. This angle goes back up like so, so we measure it like so. The back of it is curved, so we actually want to cut this off a little bit and maybe even move that a little bit and curve this down here. Okay? If we want to, we can measure from this lace to the corner, or the top of that line to the corner, to make sure that we have it correct. And we'll notice that it's not, currently it's not correct, which may mean that this has to actually stop a little bit sooner. Okay, second part. From this corner moving up is the angle of the white upper. And then this angle, if you go about from the low point to the high point, almost in the middle is where that starts. Low point, high point, almost in the middle. Do the angle of that line, and that's where these two meet together. Do the angle of the laces. Do the angle of the toes. On here it comes up a little bit because the toes bend upwards. All right, angle of the front of the toes. All right, each angle helps us know. First it goes down before it comes back up. And you'll notice it comes back up from the start of the laces to the start of the toes. And then it goes back down, really almost straight across the heel. All right. Then we can do the lower or the sole part of the shoe. So this part gets a little bit bigger as it goes down. And I'm not going to draw the bottom of the shoe. I'm going to stop right about here. And it comes straight across. And then it gets a little bit bigger at the end. And you'll notice there's also an angle off the back. Okay. The laces are hard to see here, but there's going to be, looks like 4 holes. So I would suggest make the holes first. Make sure the spacing of the holes is what you're looking for. All right. That's going to help out a lot later. We can go ahead and draw things like the swoosh in here. We may want to go ahead and round this out right there. Do this part right here. We may want to go ahead and add the padding up top and around this edge. Do little details when it makes sense to do those details. There is a tongue of the shoe, but it's behind the laces. It's going to come right here. So if you can see the tongue, it normally starts where the ankle stops and moves into where the laces are. All right, so now some of the details are hard to see because it's so dark. One of the things that you would notice is that the front part of this shoe has a line here, has a curve here in the shape of kind of a triangle. It is a little lumpy here, and you can add those lumps if you want. You can go ahead and notice that there's a line that comes where the laces stop, or where the side of the shoe stops and the laces start. Okay, and this actually ends a little bit sooner. All right, so the swoosh goes from here to here. You can measure that angle again. So we do the angle of the swoosh, do the curve of the swoosh. Okay, this part right here, you want to see that this goes kind of past this endpoint. So we might have to guess at this a couple times. We could measure from the angle of here to that point, and that could be one way of helping us figure that out. Okay, and then we do the curve right here. Okay, you can measure the other angle for the top of the swoosh. Try to figure out where does that triangle look like. And go from there. So now one thing I do want to tell you before we stop is a little bit of how to do the laces, but I may do that in a separate video coming next. Good luck, everybody.